iconic single-screen shooter Galaga. Do you remember the C64 port of the game with its great graphics, rich sounds and fantastic enemies? Well, neither do I. The official C64 port of Galaga would ultimately disappoint gamers with the use of two-tone petsky graphics and gameplay patterns that fail to hold your attention beyond its first few levels. There were a number of Galaga clones on the C64, with Galaxy probably the best of them, but none of them were quite able to capture the gameplay that makes Galaga a timeless classic. Protovision and the development team headed by Jason Aldred looked to rectify this situation with their release of Galencia last year. The backstory to Galencia is that the Earth's population of bees actually originate from a far distant planet, and following a devastating civil war, they'd been relocated to Earth to save them from extinction by giant queen bees known as the Guardians over 3 million years ago. The bees happily lived on Earth in harmony until us destructive humans came along and started damaging their environment, to the extent that we have placed the bees back at extreme risk of extinction. Well, the Guardians are not too happy with this and have come back to Earth to exterminate humans, and it's up to you, Ace Harper, to stop this from happening. Loading up the intro to Galencia, I started to have reservations about what the game had in store due to its bee-inspired backstory, but I literally had my breath taken away when I first saw the launch preparation sequence screen where Ace walks across the launch platform to his ship. The presentation of this screen with its detailed graphics, bright colours and dramatic effect told me to put aside my preconceived notions that this would be a game that I would forget about tomorrow. The quality of the game instantly hits you as you start to take on the first level enemies. The main character ship and the enemies are drawn in large colourful detail. The sounds coming from the enemies and your bullets have a rich fullness to them, and the movement of enemy ships are smooth and non-linear. The sophistication of enemy patterns and strategy is what makes Galencia a compelling play. The enemy patterns start off being fairly benign, placing the gamer under a false pretense that this will be an easy game to finish, when all of a sudden the enemies start making little death moves that seem to hone into your ship just as you think you're in a safe position. The enemy patterns and movements get more aggressive as you progress through the levels, and you'll often find yourself having to quickly maneuver your ship out of the way as an enemy instigates a curving downward attack in an attempt to smash into you. The game can irritate due to the green enemy bullets blending in with the green stars within the backdrop. This either makes the bullets hard to see, or you react to a star rather than a bullet, with the effect that you crash your ship into an enemy. Another element of the game that lets it down is that the same enemy types and their composition are repeated throughout the game, with the only difference being their level of aggressiveness or sophistication of attack moves. This lack of variation in enemies diminishes the feeling of progression, and may be prohibitive in trying to get through all 50 levels that the game has to offer. To break things up, Galencia features 2 boss battles and a number of challenge stages that will provide you with rewards for 100% enemy clearance in one variant, and the ability to collect 10,000 point stars while navigating an asteroid field in the other. Critically, Galencia does have that just one more go factor going for it. The frustration of running into a camouflaged enemy bullet or kamikaze enemy is quickly followed by that feeling of I can do better next time, and I'm going to get past a particular level. It is this addictive quality gameplay that will have you persisting and enjoying the game in the long run. Galencia is a wonderful homage to Galaga that contains numerous game elements to make a very good game in its own right. C64 owners finally have a single screen shooter that we can be proud of. It will be a game that you will return to and enjoy in the many years to come. I hope you found my review of Galencia informative, Now let's take a quick look through what you get with the box edition of the game. As we can see, the overall presentation of the box art is very impressive and of high quality. The attention to detail applied to the box art by far outstrips what you get these days from current generation titles and easily makes for a great collector's piece. It just feels great in the hand. I just love the format that Protovision is using here. Opening up the box, we find the inside of the lid contains Galencia flight control instructions. Nice touch. The game manual doesn't disappoint either and is quality all the way. The manual starts off with setting out the backstory and providing a brief bio on the main characters of the Galencia story. That hunky guy on the left is Ace Harper, the pilot we control within the game. The rest of the manual provides details on the basic gameplay and some of the other special challenges and enemies that you find within the game. Next, we have a glass Galencia coaster to use to place our beer bottles down on so that we don't damage our retro gaming tables. We also have a sticker and a nice little keychain. And finally, we have the cartridge game itself, presented in Galencia green. As I said earlier, Protovision do go a step above with these boxed editions. I hope they continue with this type of packaging as they certainly look great. Thank you for taking the time to watch my latest addition to my Ultimate Review series. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.